Hi guys, and welcome to this week's writing assignment. So in Google Classroom under May 25th to 29th, this week we are going to practice our paragraph writing. Your prompt this week is a would you rather. So would you rather continue with online learning in September, or would you rather be back in the classroom? So that means is when our new school year starts in September, so in grade 3s when you're in grade 4, when grade 4s when you're in grade 5, would you rather continue with online learning, so be at home and continue with Google Meets and Google Classroom, or would you rather be back in the classroom and everything is back to normal? So your writing needs to be a paragraph, and you need to have a topic sentence, at least 3 reasons to support your claim, and those reasons need to have details attached to them, and that'll make more sense when I show you my exemplar, and then a closing sentence. So we did paragraph writing way back in September and October. So continue watching this video and I'm going to show you your assignment. So when you click on your assignment, everybody has their own copy of this. You have the would you rather statement at the top, and then you have your 3 parts to your paragraph writing. So I have 2 examples of this writing assignment. I have a good example and I have a bad example. So I did both of mine for continuing with online learning. So I don't want to continue with online learning. I would much rather be back in the classroom. But I have a feeling that most of you are going to write that you would like to be back in the classroom, so I don't want you guys copying completely all of my writing. So my good example here has all 3 parts. So I'm going to highlight this. The first part, I would rather continue with online learning in September. I'm going to highlight that to show you all the parts of my writing. I don't expect you guys to highlight this. Then I have my reasons. First, I get to stay home with Winston. That's my first reason. Now I have to give some detail to explain why that's a good thing. I can take him for walks and play with him during my recess and lunch breaks. He misses me when I am away at school. So I'm going to highlight and I'm going to make that green. Second, so my second reason, there's that second transition word. Online learning is better for the environment. That's my reason. Now I have to give some details supporting that and explaining it. If we continue with online learning, I will reduce the amount of pollution I create with my car. I won't be driving to and from school every day. I will also reduce the amount of paper I use. I won't have to print off booklets and worksheets for my students. That is perfect. So I'm going to highlight that. Let's make it blue. So I have a few things going on in that second reason. So I talk about why it's better for the environment. So 1, I reduce the amount of pollution I create with my car, and then I explain that by saying that I'm not driving to and from school every day. And then I also talk about reducing the amount of paper I use, and then I explain how I'm going to do that. Well, I won't have to print off as many booklets and worksheets. And then I have my last reason. So lastly, you could also use thirdly, I won't have to wake up early to pack a lunch every day. And I'm going to explain that. If I stay home, I can make a fresh lunch every day. I could say every afternoon. And I'm going to highlight that in orange. Then I have my closing sentence, my conclusion, which I'm also going to highlight yellow here. And then these 3 reasons are going to be 3 different colors. I hope that we get to continue with online learning when the new school year starts in September. So your topic sentence and your closing sentence they say the same thing, but they're written differently. So you cannot repeat the same thing. You have to word it differently, okay? So I have my 3 parts. I have my opening, my closing, and I have my 3 reasons. Now here would be a bad example. So this example here, it has your 3 reasons, but there's no details supporting the reasons. So I would rather continue with online learning in September. So I'm going to highlight that yellow. First, I get to stay at home with Winston. So there's no details there explaining what I would do with Winston. Second, online learning is better for the environment. Nowhere do I explain how it's better. There's no details. Lastly, I won't have to wake up early to pack a lunch every day. There's no details there supporting my last reason. And then I have my closing sentence. I hope that we get to continue with online learning when the new school year starts in September. So I hope you guys can see the difference there. The good example has more writing, but there's also way more details in there to explain my reasons. So the good example, that is what I expect to see from you guys. I sure hope I don't see any a writing that looks like the bad example. So good luck.